And welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective podcast. My name is Adam Kraut.
And I'm John Patton.
And this week's show is brought to you by Birchwood Casey and the TGC Patreon supporters who love the name Maximum Crush because it's not a bad 90s action movie. It is, in fact, awesome.
Maximum Crush.
Maximum Crush.
That does sound like a 90s action movie.
Or
starring
like,
Keanu Reeves and Jeff Daniels. It's the sequel of that other movie that they were in together, which I can't remember the name of.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a spin-off of Under Siege with Steven Seagal. I'm kidding. That's not true at all.
Let's just make stuff up. Nobody will ever know the difference anyway.
It's the internet. Believe it.
They sound authoritative on the matter.
Didn't I say something repeatedly last week was canon, and I don't remember what it is this week?
Do you even know what canon means?
Do you?
Well, that's why I was asking you.
Yeah.
And the catch-22 begins.
Hey, so we got some stuff. Some stuff came.
Stuff.
Multiple stuffs.
Things.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about it?
So in front of us, I will hold my my mug up here. Wait for it. There you go. You can see the TGC logo. So a listener named Matt, made these blown glass mugs, cups. I don't really know what to, because
I would call it a cup.
Yeah, it's a big old glass cup.
Call it a cup with a finger hole.
They've got guns all over them, the TGC logo. Adam and I both got one, and they have a custom engraved message on the bottom to both of us.
Yes, I posted mine on Instagram.
Yeah, I posted...
you posted it in the story. I posted mine as an actual post.
But either way, these are super, super cool, and we just want to say thank you.
Yeah, so... Matt, I actually exchanged a few emails with him after to thank him, number one, because John mentioned a couple weeks back that somebody was sending us mugs or something, and he didn't really elaborate. And then I think it was yesterday. I forget. Doesn't matter. John sent me pictures of the mugs, and I was blown away. I mean, they're awesome.
Super, super cool.
Yeah.
I'll spin it around.
So
it's got a whole bunch of different guns on there. There's a Barrett, an AK, a Galil, a P90, an M16.
And the TGC logo.
And a custom thing on the bottom. It's really cool.
So Matt, I found out Matt's been blowing glass. I think he's 26, and he's been blowing glass since he was 14 or 15.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so he's been doing it about 10 years. He teaches, if I recall correctly, he teaches at an art school. So he just kind of did this as like a thank you, I guess, for content, which cool.
That's cool as heck.
Yeah. So if you want to follow him on Instagram at GlassyMatt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I started following him, and there were a couple people that asked me specifically. I don't know about you, but where they could get one. You could certainly shoot him a message on there and see if he'd be willing to do something with you. So, he I don't know. But they're definitely cool, and I dig it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, man. I'm really, really excited.
Handmade artisan thing.
Yeah, we've gotten a few custom things, and getting something like this, just it's all special in its own way. You guys have seen some of the cups I've been drinking out of before, the like metal ones and stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
Again, another really cool thing. Also, I'm gonna slide this in a little bit so the people watching the video. Remember maybe
we should move your cup.
That's all right. We had a discussion about chocolate, and this is, if you couldn't tell by the wording, this is from some other country.
Caja Verde.
Yeah.
It looks Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know. The Caja Verde is like their shipping stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yes, I looked it up.
Okay.
I looked. So this is that branding is actually like shipping stuff. But anyway. So there's chocolate in there. Do you want to do this now? Let's wait a little bit to do the chocolate.
You're going to deprive me of chocolate?
Okay.
No, it's okay. We can wait, but I just want to make sure I got this correct. You're going to deprive me of chocolate. I've been wanting something chocolate for the better part of the day now. But that's okay. No, it's cool. We can wait. And I saw there was a comment, white chocolate is canon. You're wrong.
What do you mean? Why is it not canon?
I swear to God, if there's white chocolate in this box, I'm going to throw something across the room.
Why don't you go ahead and open it?
No.
Why don't you go ahead and open it and find out? I hope there's white chocolate in there.
Oh, no, we're not doing that. So we'll maybe around halftime, we'll take a peek in that box.
Yeah, so quick shout out to everybody watching live tonight. It is episode 25. And we're going to do a couple things that are a little bit more different.
More different.
Adam and I are just kind of going to wing it this time because we feel like
Apparently being prepared is not.
No, it's more interesting for us to mix things up, and I assume you guys are going to have some fun along the way. So if you're watching live, go ahead and ask questions the whole time. We'll be tracking that. Also, the super chat feature is there if you want to guarantee that we read out whatever shenanigans that you plug into the super chat. And that's my spiel.
Do we want to tell them about our special guest tonight?
Who's our special guest?
I just totally made that up. I was hoping.
Oh, I was like, wait, we
got
have a guest? Whoops.
No, we don't. So, but we may start doing that again. That's one thing you and I have talked about. So actually, I'd be curious to know what you guys who listen on a regular basis would be interested in, whether you would like us to go back and get guests every once in a while for interviews. Because I found that interesting to learn about people. Or if you want to see if we can get a third guest host, maybe would be the best way to describe it. Somebody else to interact with.
I did talk to Ben, who is kind of helping me a lot with the precision stuff. Ben offered to come down here and be in studio. We would have to figure out a microphone situation for that.
He can just yell from the background.
Well, I may yell because I'm the loudest bastard.
No, I mean we
us.
just put him in the corner and he just screams.
Put a third camera over there.
Yeah.
There's a second camera on Baby P Pants.
Seclude him.
Yeah.
We could do that, but we'll play around with some things. But yeah,
somebody said bring Steven Crowder on. I wish that'd be really cool. We're not up to that just yet.
I don't think he'll give us the time of day.
Maybe. You'd be shocked. So I think there is some things that we need to talk about more specifically.
Sure.
You went to Q.
Oh,
that's a thing.
Yes.
You went there.
What is Q?
Qu.
K.
Qu.
Qu.
K.
The letter Q?
Yes.
Yes.
You went to the letter Q, the official Q.
I did.
What happened?
What happened? Well, I had a good time.
Tell us about your trip, Adam.
Okay. Well, I went up to New Hampshire on Saturday.
Hey, look, Matt left a comment. Matt, you didn't have to leave a super chat.
We'll read it later. Don't worry. We'll guarantee that we read your comment. So I went up to New Hampshire this past weekend. I hung out with my friends up at Q, Kevin Brittingham and Ethan Lassard and Nick Schaefer and
I'm super
a whole
jelly.
bunch of other people. Oh, yeah, we could take another trip up there.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can make that a reality. So got to spend a couple days up there hanging out with them. We ate some really good food. There are some really good restaurants in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Like really good restaurants.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The Northeast is full of good food.
Yeah.
Like there is not a place that I can think of that you cannot get good food.
So Saturday I had some time to myself while they were all doing things with their family because I didn't want to impose myself on anyone. And I walked around downtown Exeter. Walked around downtown Portsmouth, which is like Portsmouth is older than the United States itself. It dates back to the 1600s, and you can tell it's an old sea town, and you can tell by like.
Is there a guy with a hook hand?
No, but by the way the buildings are kind of shaped and leaning, you can tell that it's been there for quite some time. So it's a neat little town.
It's been through some stuff.
Yeah, it's been there for a few years. And then I drove up to Maine because from where Portsmouth is, Maine is, you could throw a stone across the river and hit me, maybe if you have a really good arm. But it's right there. So I drove up. There's a lighthouse that's about a half hour. So I drove up there. I went and checked out, I think it's Newble Lighthouse. And there's a little restaurant there that had lobster rolls. Well, I'm in Maine, so I might as well.
You might as well, I mean,
right?
You got to do it.
So I had a lobster roll, which is on Instagram, and it looks delicious because you can't not post pictures of good food. That's what Instagram's for.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that in the bylaws?
It is.
When you download the app,
the user agreement. Yeah.
When you download the app, they mail you the bylaws.
No, it's in the user agreement that you agreed to that you will post pictures of delicious looking food. So that's what I did.
And also your failed attempts at making delicious food.
Yes, that too.
Those are equally funny.
Those are even better. So then on my way back down, I took Route 1 instead of 95 because apparently 95 going southbound on the weekends on Sunday
It's a mess.
is a mess. And it was.
Yeah.
So I saw one paralleled it, and I figured it would be a little more scenic anyway. And I was looking for a Kittery Trading Post because I'd heard about it. I heard it was supposed to be an awesome gun shop.
Oh, it's a gun shop. Okay.
That's what I thought too. So as I'm looking it up on my phone, I look up and there it is. So I pull into the parking lot, And it immediately, I'm like, this place is massive. It kind of reminds me of Cabela's. Sure enough, I walk inside and it's exactly like Cabela's.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Wow.
So I decided to, I walked around there. I bought 2 pairs of socks for court. One has a alien ship on it, and the other has a T-Rex on it.
All right.
And
everybody's favorite lawyer.
Yeah. Well, and I was in the gun section, and I got a text message from one of the guys who works in a local shop down here saying, "Hey, you should check out that Kittery trading place. You saw where I was." I said, well, funny story. I'm
there.
Yeah, I'm there. If you've been in Cabela's, you've been there. Really, is what I'm.
I just want to point out that you neglected to stop and see our buddies from Four Guys Guns.
I did, but I exchanged some text messages with them.
Yeah, I'm just harassing you for them.
Oh,
because you're a bad friend.
Well, I was on a little bit of a time crunch.
I know, I'm teasing you. So you went to Q and you built rifles.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah. Well,
how about some guns?
Gee, I thought you wanted to know about my life. Apparently not. Okay. So, yeah, I went to Q, and Monday I built a fix. It's a rifle that I've been since I saw it at now. So I was like, I need one of those.
Yeah, they're super cool.
So we built one in 6.5 Creedmoor.
20-inch barrel.
20-inch barrel. I built it with Nick Schaefer, one of the engineers he was the head engineer on that project.
That's cool.
So
that's really
not only
cool
did I get to build it, but he explained what they did in certain parts of the gun, why they did it that way, what made it different from everything. It's a really well thought out gun.
So I have a question that may have come up. Why straight pull? Because I had heard on other straight pull rifles that are out there that it is possible with an overpressure cartridge to blow the bolt straight to the rear, like completely dislodge it, and that's why people use like the rotating locking bolt style. So do you know why?
Well,
it didn't
come up,
okay.
So I don't know. But they were specifically within the bolt itself. We were talking about the cocking shroud and stuff, and they pretty much they tried to remove and make it separate pieces on a whole lot of different things in there, so that way we had a less mass to move really, and would result in a better trigger pull for everybody. The barrel nut, I was told, was really just a formality. the way that it pinches the barrel in there in the front of with the rail and stuff. Mm-hmm. You don't even really need the barrel nut at all. It's just kind of like
more
there.
Security.
Well, it's just kind of like there.
Okay.
They were like, you could shoot this gun pretty much all day without that, and it would be
that's
okay.
interesting.
I saw the torque for it's only like 30 foot-pounds.
Huh. Okay.
Essentially what they were saying was, if you haven't seen it, they do offer a wrench that allows you to remove the barrel from it, so you can change calibers out in the field in about 2 minutes. And essentially what their goal was,
assuming it's the same bolt face.
Yes, assuming correct. Yeah. And for the 6.5 and the 308 it is.
Yeah.
So what they were saying was that they essentially torque things down by hand to see about how hand tight they could get it on average, and that's what they made the torque spec, because if you look at the wrench that you can buy to do that, it was really just to keep everything so that you wouldn't have to break out a torque wrench if you're in the middle of the field.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, it was a really well thought out design in the gun itself. It's super light.
We'll have to do a video on that gun because I think it's
we'll have to go
super
shoot that gun.
Yeah. Well, we've got a 700-yard range. We can
and
stretch that
that's
out.
Exactly why I wanted it.
We actually recently just got a big shipment of some steel targets from Birchwood Casey.
Oh,
that came in. We got a bunch of steel. So
I love shooting steel.
Steel is the best.
Yes. Yeah. So we built a fix. Got to play with the honey badgers, which I had seen. I posted some pictures on Instagram.
The honey badger doesn't do anything for me, man.
It really didn't do much for me the first time I played with it, because I got out of 300 blackout, and the more I thought about it and the more I've played with it some, it's kind of grown on me again.
Well, it was cool. I mean, as a concept, that was like, that's like a 2012 type gun. Like that, when that originally, the honey badger as a namesake, in that color configuration,
back in AAC. Yeah.
Right, it was an AAC thing, and it was years ago. So seeing it now, I'm just kind of like, eh. And guys are like super excited. Like,
because
it's a 300 blackout SVR. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but the stock on it is super rad. Like, that's not.
Is it though? I think PDWs are weird.
Well, It's,
I mean,
like I said, it's
I don't
grown
know.
on me. But the one thing that they did was they partnered with SB Tactical to do a brace. So they
That
have a
one's cool.
pistol version.
I think that's neat.
And a lot of people are super pumped about that because now they don't have to go through the NFA process and wait all this time. They can just buy the pistol and have it shipped. So the Honey Badger's cool. But the real thing is the fix itself. There's the mini fix, which has been teased on social media.
Yeah,
and you asked me about
I did
that.
not know about
Oh,
that.
so the mini fix is super cool. Like, they're all cool, don't get me wrong, but the mini fix is pretty rad because it's an SBR currently. They are going to ship it as a pistol. They are working on a brace for it.
Wow.
Comes in 224 Valkyrie. They did a pre-order on already.
By the way, a 224 Valkyrie SBR is a dumb thing.
Well,
it's not going to... Well, I shouldn't say it's not going to shoot. I will be surprised if it shoots well.
I suspect it might.
I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it's them.
Yeah.
But I have my reservations about
And
what
then-
kind of groups that's going to put down.
We'll find. It also depends on what your purpose is and distance-wise. Then they're doing a 300 blackout model.
That, I think, is neat. I love 300 blackout bolt guns.
And then
As there's one behind
the
you.
one behind me, yeah. And then the other thing they have, which is even cooler, which is going to be up your alley. Well, there's
Please tell me it's a big bore.
two. Yeah. So 8.6 Creedmoor.
Yes!
They've
the
been-
8.6 Creedmoor!
They've been teasing that.
Did we talk about that last week?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But the 8.6 Creedmoor is essentially what they did was they took a 6.5 Creedmoor. They
And necked it up.
necked it up. That's right. Yeah. So it's exactly.
So
think,
it's a
think
6.5
300
Creedmoor
blackout.
yeah.
Same kind of thing. Like, you had these guys sitting around going, "How can we make this bigger?" And they did the same thing. They cut down a cartridge already and they necked it up. They stuck a bigger bullet in it. The energy that this thing has is supposed to be significant.
Okay. I have so many questions, and I don't think you're going to be able to answer all of them.
Probably not. I'm not an engineer.
Well, it's not about engineering.
Memory.
Who's making ammo?
Hornady.
Already?
They're working.
In
They're
production?
no. They're working on.
I mean,
so this
they-
is a prototype gun. They're working on the ammunition currently, but Hornady is on board to actually produce it at some
Okay.
point. So
Okay.
they've already, and I think it's also partially because their past experience with Hornady and working with So I talked to them. I'm pretty sure at some point we'll be able to get one to play with. And the one thing I do want to do, and we'll have to write this down or recall or re-listen to this episode, is I want to take it out to the range and shoot steel with it at like 100 yards, but I want to shoot steel with a variety of different calibers so you can see how bad this thing thumps.
Oh, we don't have to do that. We'll do something more scientific.
Okay.
Yeah, shooting
Oh.
steel. You know,
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
We'll
so-
do something a little bit more scientific than shoot steel.
Yeah. So
Because I'm personally interested in the terminal ballistics far
Sure.
more, and so it's a 338 bullet
Yeah.
coming out at subsonic speeds, or
super.
You can get a supersonic variant of it.
Yep.
Which again, pretty freaking cool. Do you know what the weight is on the supersonic variant?
The bullet weight?
Yeah.
I don't. I know, the
they're
subs
probably
are 300 plus.
Yeah, they're going to be huge subsonic
Yeah,
bullets.
they're
but
300 plus. And Nick was telling
still
me
a cool
telling
thing.
me that ballistic coefficient wise, it's better than 458 SOCOM and
Well, of course
a
it is.
variety of other calibers.
It's a 338 bullet,
Sure.
not a 458
Sure.
bullet.
And then the only other two things that I saw really were the pistol erector that there's been pictures of that floating around. And then the jumbo shrimp. I got to play with one of those.
What is that?
So the jumbo shrimp, we've talked about it here. It is their 6.5 can, specific to 6.5, shorter than the Trash Panda, which is their shortest 30 cal right now. It weighs, I think, about the jumbo shrimp's, 8 ounces.
Okay.
And essentially, its sole purpose is just to be hearing safe for the shooter. So think of it for somebody who's going hunting, doesn't want to lug a longer, slightly heavier can around. This is just really to kind of, really, I think it's more geared towards the guy who's going hunting than anything.
Okay. Still a cool name,
Yeah.
cool idea.
Yep. So
Very cool.
it was
right.
a sweet trip.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I had a good time.
I think how much time do we have in there? So I think it's time that we get into some this new. Should we wait till after halftime for the new thing? For the
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get into this chocolate.
We're gonna do that now. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that now because it's a necessary thing.
Okay.
There's a couple super chats if you want to read
Okay.
those out
All right.
while I slide this over
So
here
Matt
for you.
Matt, the guy who made the mug, says, glad you like them.
He left his super chat. Ryan, the guy that sent the chocolate.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan, the guy who sent the chocolate next super chat, said, figured I'd go ahead and learn how to super chat.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan.
And
thanks for the chocolate.
Ben Newman wants to know, what's the best bolt action for foxes will 22 do?
As far as I know, a 22 would drop a fox. They're not big animals.
Yeah, I think so.
I maybe would recommend maybe like a 22 Magnum, but get a suppressor either way because reasons.
Yeah. Have any of you played with 460 Roland?
No.
I have not.
I don't have a lot of interest in it. It's like a 45 Magnum as far as I'm concerned.
No, I haven't played with it, and it's not.
I don't know. It's like, I think it is 460 Roland is to 45 ACP as 10 mil is to 40.
Okay.
I believe that's kind of the way it is, but 10 mil's awesome.
Gotcha.
Open the chocolate, Adam.
Okay, hold on. One other one I saw here with ammo issues for 6.5 Creedmoor not being uniform from one company to another. I don't know, but the guys at Q said Hornady 140 grain ELD match all day, every day.
Yeah, the Hornady 6.5 ammo is
they said
awesome.
They said, like, I was talking about possibly reloading it, and they were like, just buy this factory. They were like, it's cheap enough.
There's a lot of guys that literally will only buy that stuff because it's so good.
Right, and that's...
I've got a whole bunch of 6.5 for you to try, at least if we still have it by that time.
Okay.
But we actually just got in some stuff from Seller and Bellet.
Yeah. I'd like to see if we could get some Prime stuff too to play.
Yeah. I gotta talk to them again. We're supposed to continue working with Prime and getting some ammo in.
Right.
So. Okay.
All right.
So open the chocolate.
All right. What do we know? What country this is from?
I don't. I couldn't figure it out. I can't read that. Ryan, if you're still out there watching, could you tell us where this stuff is from? I saw
it's Europe. I know that much.
I opened this because I didn't know what it was, and I saw some American stuff in there, which is really weird. But go ahead and open that, Adam.
All right.
Here we go. Opening the chocolate.
The chocolate. All right. First up, we've got a Frankfurt made in the USA cookies and cream Easter bunny.
It's white chocolate. I put it in there.
You put this in here. You put that in here.
It's white chocolate. You bastard! How dare you throw my white chocolate bunny?
Oh, there's a note in here.
All right.
There's a note, and it has an inventory sheet.
Oh my lord! Look at this. We'll hold this up for the camera so they can see.
There's a note. There is in fact a note.
He made a sweet little ring for it. All right.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to read the note.
Yeah, you don't need to read it right now.
But the inventory. It's got an inventory sheet here. And it has some comments on it too. Okay, all right. So we'll go through the chocolate, and then we'll read some of the stuff.
I think it's funny that there's a Kinder thing. Have you ever seen Kinder eggs?
No.
They're chocolate and white chocolate at the same time. And what we've got here is the two prizes out of Kinder eggs, but not the Kinder eggs.
Did you put that in there too?
No, this was in there. This is so weird. It's the prizes.
Oh, okay. Well, here it says on the inventory sheet, Kinder Surprise eggs illegal. I just learned that the importation is banned. I still needed the box for packaging, so I stuffed the box with what is chocolate in its greatest form. You're welcome. These are the Kinder eggs used by peers to argue for gun regulation. An obscure reference, I admit. I sent two of the toys that are inside the Kinder eggs.
Go ahead and open your toy.
Reference.
Go ahead and open your toy.
Right,
we used to open these in German class in high school.
Oh yeah,
Kinder eggs.
What
did you get?
How does this? I don't know. I can't open it. I'm trying.
Mongoloid. Oh my god, is this like a transformer? What is this?
I don't know.
It's like a.
It's the Grinch.
It's a lizard.
That's the Grinch.
It's a lizard with a rubber band.
That's the Grinch,
It's
dude.
not the Grinch, you weirdo.
All right. Well,
there's instructions and
hold on. Instructions. Some language I don't speak. Oh, warning. Toy not suitable for children under. Okay. I am greater than 3. Oh, there's assembly instructions. Mine is a lion.
I don't know what this is. Look at these instructions. Does that make any effing sense to you?
Yes, that's a monster truck running over some dude. That's what it looks
like. Download the free Magic Kinder app. Okay, I'll mess with that later. I don't know what's going on there.
I know mine's a lion. I don't know how it gets set up.
All right. Well, let's keep going. This is not going to be super interesting listening.
Okay. All right.
Adam, did you get your ATF comment filed?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Next up in our box of chocolate, we have La
I don't know that we're going to have time to go through all of this because this is a lot.
This one's 72% chocolate with olive oil and Mediterranean sea salt. The comment here is made very locally. Someone tried to infuse southern Spain into a chocolate bar. It didn't work. Huh.
All right.
What's that one?
Let me find it on the inventory sheet here because I want to read it myself.
Okay. What one is it?
Chocolate. Oh, here it is. Chocolate a Matler.
Okay.
I have high hopes for this chocolate, but like a Muppet, I forgot to buy one for me, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Being white chocolate and sporting a Barcelona brand, it should be at least better than all the dark chocolate. Here you go, Adam.
No.
Well, you're gonna try this with me.
Okay.
We're gonna try this white chocolate.
All right. We'll do that. We'll do that on Instagram, like live after
Okay,
this is
that
done.
sounds fun.
Then we have chocolates Sierra Nevada, Blanco Dulce de Leche, Sweet of Milk. And we've got another one from the same company that is black chocolate, 70%. So I'm guessing it's dark chocolate.
There's also a couple Snickers bars in here for some reason.
Oh.
They have some
Just
other
in case
language.
everything else was not.
And did you read this one?
Oh, yes. Lindt Excellence.
Lindt chocolate is amazing.
Dark Supreme, 90%. And the note for that one is I'm pretty sure it's available in the States. I sent 90% cacao because it's basically mouth chalk. And he couldn't be more right about that.
All right.
All right,
Let's
awesome.
throw them back in there.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ryan. That's freaking cool. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, all right.
Kinder Eggs.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to halftime, which means that we need to,
What does that mean?
I guess, pay bills.
Do we need to pay bills?
Well, somebody has to.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Okay.
So first up, sponsoring us this week is Birchwood Casey. You guys know and love their shoot and see targets. They're fantastic. You're familiar with them. You know all about them. They've also got a full line of steel targets now that are super affordable, as well as a bunch of gunsmithing tools and other things like that. We're going to be playing around with, they've got a kit, a bluing kit. There's a 30-30 rifle to your right, Adam. See that? Yeah. We're going to redo that. I'm going to go ahead and refinish that because it was something that belonged to my father, so I thought it'd be cool to refinish it. And birchwoodcasey.com. Check them out. I believe there may be a discount code, but I don't have it handy. So we'll be sure to get that.
Okay. And our second sponsor this evening is the TGC Patreon supporters over at
Are you going to say it this week?
patreon.com/The Gun Collective. You too can join the Patreon supporters at the either $1 level, the $1 Army, or the $5 Forces. $5 gets you into the monthly gun giveaway. This month's gun is astonishingly, a 6.5 Creedmoor, made by Ruger. Yes, Ruger.
We put it in a chassis.
It comes with an optic, a Vortex. I don't recall which one, but I know it's a Vortex.
It's a Vortex Crossfire 2.
There you go.
4-12 by 46 or
And
44.
a bipod.
And a bipod. And a muzzle brake. We put a muzzle brake on there.
Ooh.
We put a VG6 Epsilon, the big one.
Did we?
Yeah, I put one on there.
Rad.
Because it had a threaded muzzle, so it needed something on there. And I had the VG6, so we put one on there.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a full package. If you want to get in on that, patreon.com/The Gun Collective.
Just take over my spot. That's cool.
I am. So also, something to note is that I put up a poll. So if you are a Patreon supporter, I put up a poll to ask what the next gun should be to give away, because we're about to give away the Ruger, like this week or next week. And I want to know what what people want. So revolver is in the lead right now.
So you just put generic term.
Yeah, because we'll find an interesting revolver.
We will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure one exists, but okay.
Well, then you're a dirty liar, because they are out there.
Well, then.
All
We
right.
should give away one of those M1As so that somebody else can throw it in the trash for you.
That video hasn't come out yet. Shh, quiet.
Okay. Well, that's it for halftime. Moving back on into the program here, we got a couple more questions here. Stedman Wellis, what are your thoughts on Remington and Knight's armament?
That's a super chat.
Yes. Sorry, should I have declared that a
Yeah,
super chat?
yeah.
It's a super chat.
Super duper.
What are your thoughts on Remington and Knights Armament? Are they only military contract companies that don't care for innovation anymore? Question from the guy that started the vanilla versus chocolate war. Wow, we shouldn't answer that.
Oh, yes. Is he the guy that did that?
Apparently.
I'm so excited right now. What do you think about those companies, Adam?
Well, I think
good response. Good one,
I wouldn't.
Adam.
I don't think I'd buy anything from Remington today.
I certainly would not.
And there's nothing that Knights Armament produces that I would purchase either.
Yeah, no, you know, I actually have a good friend that works at Knights.
So do I. Not a good friend, a friend.
Yeah, we know somebody that works at Knights. They make a lot of really cool stuff, but it's very expensive, and oftentimes very military centric. I would love to have one of their things, but I don't know that I would spend the money to get it.
I wouldn't. And I think it commands the price it does because it says Knights on the side.
Right. And they have a very good reputation, and it's well deserved, but it may not be for me.
They make a good
Remington,
product.
on the other hand, is atrocious.
Trash can.
The only thing I would consider buying from them is an 870, and I'm even questioning that now.
I wouldn't at this point. Not a new one.
Well, I would consider...
Get a 700. I hear the triggers are great.
Yeah, only if you drop them from a tree.
No, I mean the what was it at SHOT this year? The one cool thing I did see at the Knights booth at SHOT this year was the Hush Puppy package, the Beretta 92 with the can with the wipes and the slide lock on it.
Oh yeah.
But it was like $8,000. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a car with that.
Much.
But pretty cool. Hey, what about that? It was a Chiappa Rhino I saw you shooting the other day, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Well, it doesn't matter where it is, but tell me how that was.
It's awesome. It was the first time ever shooting one.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I shot 357 Magnum. It felt like a 9mm.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, it's good.
Wow.
I was considering maybe seeing if I can get a hold of one of those.
Words, put them out of your mouth.
Yeah, I tried. Sorry, it didn't work out. I may give away one of those because they're really cool. I personally would like to get a longer barrel version because I have the snub nose. And it was cool, man. It was like a 2-inch barrel. It was actually a gift from one of our viewers. It was really, really crazy. Somebody sent a gun.
So they make a different length barrel?
Yeah.
They make
so
a couple of different
they make
variants?
like a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Oh, really? Okay.
They make
I didn't know that.
a whole bunch. And the longer the barrel gets, the more absurd it looks.
I believe that.
Like it's almost got like a vent rib.
It's already a weird looking gun.
Yeah, it's a very strange gun, but it shoots really well.
Okay.
I love it. We'll put that. I want to do a direct comparison in high speed of a snub nose 357 like standard versus that, and show the recoil impulse because I don't think there's any better way to show it than with a high speed camera.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so I saw you were shooting that out at the range, and I thought that was pretty cool. What else do we got on tap coming up?
Hang on, there's a super chat I want to address here because I think this is very interesting.
Sure.
What's the timeline on getting the TGC panel door prize guns? Ogre Ray said he actually won that, and it hasn't gone out yet. Hey, brother, shoot me an email. I believe that was something that Brownells was going to handle, and if not, then I will take care of it, and I'll make sure that it gets out to you. There may have been some confusion or miscommunication or whatever, but we will get that sorted out. I am very sorry that didn't go out yet. That sucks.
Yeah, we'll get you squared away.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
Definitely, if any of you else had problems, you don't need to super chat about it. Just shoot an email. We'll get you taken care of. And it's a lot of people I saw comments earlier about Defense Distributed. We'll be talking about that on the legal brief next week, so you can wait until then.
Yeah, we actually just recorded.
We just filmed it right before we set up for the podcast. So, CMMG Banshee worth the cost over a CZ Scorpion.
I'm not sure what the Banshee costs. I'm aware of it, but I'm not sure what it costs. It's a little SBR.
Oh, okay.
It's a tiny little 9mm. I'm not sure that I would. Without knowing the cost variance, I don't know. CMMG rifles are typically like in the $1,400 mark, and that's
like mid-range.
What's the Scorpion, like 900, 8?
8.
So
from what I remember,
$600, I'd take the Scorpion, but the Banshee is still a cool gun if you've got the money and want that. The CMMG's radial blowback system is really interesting to me. Have you seen it?
I think at SHOT Show we took a look at it.
Yeah, I think it's really, really interesting. So basically, the back of the lugs.
$1,500, by the way.
So the Banshee's $1,500. That's a bit pricey.
Yeah,
that's a bit steep for a 9mm
So
SBR.
tell me, let's talk about the rotating action or whatever you called it.
So they call it radial delayed blowback.
Okay.
So it operates very similar to a standard blowback, except for the fact that it's got...
Does it rotate and lock into place?
Well, it's got angled cuts on the back of the bolt face.
Okay.
So as it unlocks, it dissipates some of that energy, or it's supposed to dissipate it in a radial fashion.
So like a spiral gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that kind of... So it kind of smoothly spins and unlocks. And same, I guess, goes back in. But I think that's a really interesting idea. And for those that aren't aware, the interesting thing is that 9mm and 45 ACP guns actually recoil a fair amount in comparison to like a 5.56, just because they're blowback.
Right.
So that being said, anything to smooth that recoil impulse out or elongate it is cool in my book.
Speaking of 9mm, like AR-15s and whatnot, what was the product I sent you? Mean Arms, is it?
Yeah,
So
the Mean Arms. I can't remember what it's called.
So essentially, what it is it's a conversion for that. So your 9mm AR-15, it's a conversion to use a standard lower on it that doesn't require mag blocks or anything like that.
Huge.
What it is it is an insert that goes into a Gen 2 PMag, and it adapts it to be utilized for 9mm. And I saw this when I don't know where I was, but I sent it to you. I saw it and I was like, this looks neat. And I hadn't watched it at that point. So you remove the guts of the PMag and stuff this adapter in there essentially, and then put
it's
the
basically
floor
new
plate back
guts
on.
for your magazine.
That's exactly what it is. The one thing that struck me was during the video they're talking about, we chose the PMag because of its performance and reliability and proven worth. And I'm thinking, well, the PMag was designed for 223, 5.56, so your argument there kind of goes out the window when you're totally gutting it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really neat because now you can just use a standard lower if you have a 9mm upper, in theory, and run it like that. So your mags stay the same, your mag pouches stay the same. And that was the point he kind of kept hitting on, was you've trained all this time, and I don't necessarily buy that as much as I just think it's pretty cool.
Well, I don't think the training stuff is going to translate, because most guys that are training super hardcore with an AR-15
aren't shooting 9mm.
Yeah, they're usually just going to stick with an AR-15, or I should say a 5.56. But the point is, it's really, really interesting, and everybody that currently makes a Glock or Colt or other kind of lower for a pistol caliber carbine needs to pay the F attention. Because if
they don't.
Yeah,
I don't think they do.
Listen, it's another competitor in that space, and if it sells well, if they're able to produce it, and if it works well, which all of that is unproven.
That's the questionable part.
All of that is unproven. If that's all true, then it's going to be a force to be reckoned with, because
I think it'll take up part of the market share, no doubt, especially if it works.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to be the end to dedicated lowers for Glock mags and things like that, because people already have those, especially the Glock lowers. The ones that take Colt mags, I'd be willing to say, are probably going to slowly die off.
I don't know why they haven't died off yet. Colt mags don't make sense to me.
Yeah, but if you have a ton of Glock mags laying around, let's be honest, a lot of people do. You may just think it probably makes more sense to buy that rather than buy conversion kit, start ripping out guts of P mags, and now you're kind of out PMags. Cost-wise, I don't think there's going to be a huge difference. But we'll see. Time will tell, really, is what it's going to be.
Well, I think it's more so the fact that with this new thing, you'll be able to just swap the upper instead of having a separate gun, or swapping a mag block or something like that.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
It takes it to another step that makes it much easier, in my opinion, for the end user.
Well, I don't know about you, but most people I know would rather just have another gun than conversion to theirs.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
All right. So there's another super chat here. Let's make sure we get that read out.
Banshee is 1500 or the next one?
The Patrick.
Oh, Patrick Haggerty. Adam, thanks for sharing about Washington I-1639 in the legal brief. That was this week's episode. If TGC is in Washington for anything, I will buy y'all a beer, a good Washington-made brew. Well,
Cool.
I'll be there at the end of the month for TriggerCon, so I look forward to my beer. And no problem. And oddly enough, right after that episode went live, John sent me a link to a news article that the Supreme Court had kicked the case out. So we had usually the episodes for the legal brief are filmed the week prior or sometimes 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, which means that sometimes like this, things like that happen.
Stuff happens. It's whatever.
It's inevitable, but glad you liked it, and hopefully we brought some attention to the issue for you guys.
That question at the top of this is really important.
At the top of
why is the NRA silent on the Cody Wilson victory? That's a good question. I don't have the answer.
Well, they weren't involved in the litigation, so they can't take credit for it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can't talk about it. This is the problem with the freaking gun groups. It's all about who gets credit, not what we're doing to move the Second Amendment forward. What the hell? Sorry.
Wow, you sound kind of angry.
That upsets me.
Wow, here's a report for you. FBI will add 400 million new records to NICS.
They're expanding the database for background checks. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. The information available to it. That's a lot of records. Curious to know where they're coming from. The article doesn't say, and I am certainly not going to thetrace.com, which is garbage. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and yes, you were correct to point out that question at the top of the page. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very, very interesting. That entire case is interesting. Again, legal brief episode on it.
Did you, speaking of products and whatnot, those noise fighters?
Yeah, I have some.
Do you?
They're in the back of the car.
Have you played with them yet?
Yeah.
How do you like them?
I think the idea is good.
Okay.
I wear glasses.
Yes.
And I don't like my glasses riding up higher where those things require you to have them ride.
Okay. So you think they ride up a little too high?
Yeah.
For you personally.
For me personally, with like iPro, like safety glasses, I don't think it would be as big of an issue. But I wear glasses and more frequently, than I would wear safety glasses. So I'm accustomed to them riding low.
Okay. So you wear them normally.
Like I prefer them riding on my ears. And with those, because it's creating a seal.
Yeah, I saw the images. I'd like to play around with them.
Somebody said, "What's a noise fighter?" It's an EarPro cushion that has a cutout for iPro.
It only took somebody how long to?
And the cushions are actually really comfortable.
No, but I mean, for somebody to come out with this, it only took how long?
Yeah.
I'd like to play around with them and see how they do for me. I think it's a neat idea, but until I try it, I can't.
What happened to that dancing FBI
Yeah, so
guy,
that FBI agent gets his gun back while the charge is pending. So I guess the FBI will allow people who shoot people in a totally negligent fashion to continue to carry a gun while there's a potential plea deal to felony charges stemming from his wild dance move. Wow. That's just, I don't even know where to go with that. Although I guess I'm not really surprised. It's the federal government, and they haven't exactly been.
Have you been listening to the stuff that's going on in Washington this week with the FBI hearings and all that kind of stuff?
No, I haven't. Why don't you tell me about it?
Hilarious.
Why is that?
Because anytime that someone from the opposite side of the aisle says something, it is immediately cast aside as ridiculous, as the worst thing ever. All Republicans want nobody to have free will. You're not like we're going to get Republicans are going to get rid of abortion. Like, that's what they're doing. And then Democrats want no borders. Like, no.
Can you just do that noise one more time, please? Because that was the best part of that entire thing. Are you talking about the Supreme Court nomination?
No, I mean, yes, but there's also a hearing for Peter Strzok, the lead investigator on the Trump-Russia thing and the Hillary Clinton thing.
Russia.
Bias this and blah, 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 blah. I think the FBI bias was interesting. But anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Surefire. 1,000 lumen weapon light.
Okay. What are your thoughts? It's the XH30. How much? Too much.
I can promise you that much. $299.
$300.
Surprisingly, not as bad as I would have thought.
I would have expected like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's kind of where
Thanks,
I'm thinking.
Surefire.
All of the light, I guess.
People in the chat are asking how I spell my name. It's Jon.
Why are people asking that?
I don't know. Somebody said I need a fidget spinner because I keep messing with stuff in my hands. I don't know if they can hear it, so I apologize if you can hear me.
No, they probably are watching you. I watched you up there doing it.
I can't stop.
Ideal Conceal shipping their cell phone pistol now.
That thing that's not the size of a cell phone?
I guess. I never saw one.
I don't know. Should I buy one? Let's put this
out. No, you shouldn't buy one.
Why?
Why would you buy one?
Well, I've got this thing over. Where is it? Is it in here? Yes. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. I've got a thing. I've got this thing.
Oh, is that the same gun?
No. This is a life card. This is a 22.
So same idea.
Yeah. This is a life card 22.
Life card?
Yes, life card. It's
that'll definitely fit in your wallet.
Credit card sized.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's a fat credit card.
That's for when you're going into the hood. You need that belly gun. Those things are not accurate at all.
Really, I can't say I'm surprised.
I thought you knew I had this thing.
Adam is enamored I did know you had it actually because I remember seeing it up on your desk now and wow. That snap cap's really chewed up, by the way.
Yeah, it's really.
So it's just a single shot 22?
Yep.
Oh man.
Go ahead and cock it.
No, that's okay.
Go ahead and cock it.
No,
I want you to feel that trigger.
I don't think
it's a match trigger. Go ahead. And
yeah,
if there's
sure.
a snap cap.
It's called Life Card. I can't imagine.
Go
it's
ahead.
Gonna be... Good lord.
Yeah.
And it's got gutter sights. It's just a
gutter sights.
Well, isn't that what they're called? It's just a groove cut down the top of the
gutter sights.
Yeah. Oh man, this is wow. Nope. How much do these sell for?
I don't remember.
Too much. Here.
So
nope, I don't even care.
Here's an interesting thing.
No.
You have to slightly
cock it to
kind of cock it. You have to I don't know, reset the trigger.
Can only imagine how quickly that thing reloads.
It doesn't. It really does. It's not.
Is that for when you're stuck on the deserted island and you've had enough?
Yeah. I think that's
don't
the only
screw
way
it up. That trigger pulls a little too much.
Oh my goodness!
What was that? Was that too far? It may have been. Yeah.
So let's talk about it's episode 25. Let's talk about the podcast rather than digging into more.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. I was just seeing what else was out here. Since
I want to get some feedback from the audience that's watching live, and if you are listening to this afterwards, send us an email if you're out there regularly watching. This was something that was kind of an experiment, honestly. We had a lot of the gear already from previous live streams, so it just kind of worked out to be this way. I don't know.
Gutter Snipe.
What?
ASP Gutter Snipe. Sorry, going back to that life card real quick.
What the hell? I'm trying to have a reasonable discussion, and you're looking up a Gutter Snipe.
No, I'm not looking it up. I clicked on an article that was about guns of the 80s, and there it is. ASP's Gutter Snipe, and it's kind of the same thing, only it's on an actual real gun.
This is not okay. So it was an experiment, and I think it's interesting that it's kind of growing and changing all the time. we're always talking about what we could do to make things different, because we don't want this to be the same as everybody else's gun podcast, because most of them are effing boring.
Well, we also
I listened to one
own...
the other night,
Really?
just briefly. Like it was one that was live on YouTube, and the guy who was talking at the time was just stammering and really could not get his point out about a product they were talking about that he had actually shot. It's like, dude, what? Please at least attempt to slightly be a presenter if you're gonna be.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people do podcasts just to do them. The podcast was actually something that I pushed for because I really enjoyed when we used to be regular guests on This Week in Guns, and that just was something that we couldn't continue doing based on the timing and things like that and schedule commitments. So I really pushed you to do a podcast because I had enjoyed that format a lot, actually.
Right.
And I don't listen to podcasts. So a lot of people, I get questions all the time. People ask me, what do you think about this YouTube channel or this podcast? And I don't watch other YouTube channels or listen to other podcasts. And it's not because I'm like full of myself. It's something I've never done.
I think I don't watch a large portion of gun channels out there. I think put out really, really just like low effort content.
Well, see, you actually watch other things, so you have a better idea of what goes on out there. I have no clue. So for me, especially when we're talking about the podcast format, I downloaded a few different podcasts from different genres, not gun related stuff, but sports, and so I don't like sports, but just to kind of hear how people geared things to try and get some ideas. And that's kind of how I came up initially, at least with the interview stuff, because I thought, well, if we can bring a guest on and learn something about someone who's involved in the industry in some way, because a lot of people look at people in the industry and like, well, that guy made that thing or invented that or came up with that idea, but there's a lot more to a person than just that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a neat way to try and broach that subject.
Well, what's very strange, and the reason we haven't done it in a while, is because I looked at the numbers and I'm like, people are not watching our interviews. And I don't know if that was because of the way we conducted the interview.
Possibly.
Or the person we had, or the topics we brought up, or whatever. I'm not positive. There are some that were better than others. But, when we looked at the numbers, the ones with Adam and I always did better. Just the two of us sitting here rapping.
Our new album drops next week, by the way. Be sure to check it out on iTunes.
What's it going to be called? Gutter Snipe?
Yeah.
Nice.
It is now.
That's our rap group.
Thanks for naming it.
Izzy put up a poll. A poll. I don't know what the...
A pool.
He put up
a pool of a poll. A poll.
So, yeah, I think the podcast is a lot of fun. It's pretty simple to produce, that's for sure, in comparison to the amount
That's because I do the work on it.
Well, yes, that's true. I said to Adam early on, I was like, dude, I can't mentally handle it. I need you to.
No, I said I would do it because it was
absolutely
what I wanted to do.
Seriously, can you pull up the poll he made?
Oh, can I pull it up? I'm sorry,
I wanted to see it.
No, I didn't understand that. You just said he did a poll. Do you watch regularly? Yep. Nope. I listen to podcast later.
I listen to podcast later.
Izzy, spell check, dude.
Yes. I am from Slovakia.
Come on, man.
I listen to podcast later.
Well, 8 people said yes, and 2 people said they listened to podcast later.
Smoking results. 10 votes. 10 votes. Get on our level.
Yeah, so I don't know. I really enjoy the podcast format. I would be interested to see what people would like it to kind of sound like, if they have ideas or thoughts as to things that they want to see in it. Can't guarantee that we're going to actually go down that road, but feedback is always useful. And that's one of the things that kind of bums me out when I see a review that isn't good. It's not that it's not a good review. It's just that there's no context as to why the person didn't actually like it. Even with some comments, they're not helpful. And like, okay, well, how can I go back and make this better? And that's constantly what we're trying to strive to do, is make the content better.
Well, yeah, that's always what it's all about. We want to bring the best gun knowledge we can, and unfortunately, a lot of, like I said earlier, I think a lot of gun content is very low effort, and I certainly don't want to be in that space. And I don't mean that as a slight against the other stuff. That's not what TGC is.
It could be.
It's
if you
not.
play your cards right. So the other thing we were going to do tonight,
and let's do it,
which is something that we've
this
talked
needs
about.
a segment name. I'm going to call this. I'm going to steal a name that I saw on a different channel.
Oh boy!
It's called.
Wait! Is it a gun-related channel?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
What is it?
Commentary.
Commentary. All right. So as you probably know, if you've looked at any of the videos on YouTube or Facebook, people like to comment and leave their opinion on just about everything.
Really?
And sometimes their comment or opinion is just stupid. So, because everybody has an opinion and we don't care about some of them,
we have a collection here of screenshots that I either saved on my phone or went through and found in our comments section. Some of these are messages. I can give context to where they came from.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we start here?
It's a message.
It's a message.
This came to us, I believe, either that appears to be Facebook. Yeah, that looks like
it's
Facebook
Facebook.
Messenger.
It's from 6:48 p.m. on some unknown day. The message from the individual is, just saw one of your rants. Please explain to the chunky gentleman that we're not trying to stop guns in general, just automatic weapons that shoot multiple bullets. It can kill mass quantities of people. No need for that.
My response:
automatic weapons are already regulated. Stop talking about things you don't understand.
His response:
screw you. Who is your child dying? Big words and somebody hiding behind a gun.
My response:
you should try to learn how to speak English properly, and then perhaps how to formulate an argument or discussion. Then come back and talk to me. It turns out I don't think he ever saw it.
Get bent. This is one of my favorites. Can you make that large so I can see that? Just stretch that out there for me.
Oh, that was bad.
I don't know what.
I know what I did there. I didn't do it diagonally.
Grab it from the corner. So this is a great one. This was a comment left on an episode of The Legal Brief. I'm a conservative gun owner, and I like your channel. But if you're not a lawyer, I doubt you should have a segment called The Legal Brief.
The reply, Tom, he is a lawyer.
Lol.
This one was from this week. This one was good, and then this one actually had some really good.
This is actually not from this week. No, it's from a couple weeks ago.
Okay, well, this one's from a couple weeks ago, but it was posted about, and this one generated some fun conversation on Instagram where somebody decided to go some ad hominem attacks, and I decided to let them know that. I had some fun in the comments section.
Yeah, they can get bent as well. So the Legal Brief generates this really interesting response. And I don't know why it is. TGC News has kind of just waded through that kind of crap. I don't know why. I don't know why there's a difference, but the Legal Brief always pulls out the mom's basement type. It really does. Like the guys that are like home legal advisors.
Yeah.
They're like, man, I know everything. It's the actually guy. This is the Legal Brief.
It's a suppressor.
Yeah, the Legal Brief just brings them out of their dungeons, away from playing Fortnite and wiping Cheeto dust off their dirt stash, and they leave comments like this. Go ahead.
Wow. I really dislike the intro to these. The crush part is silly. I've seen the word blast and slam in headlines so much lately. It reeks of market research, pandering, manipulation, etc. I can't find the right word to describe it, but I can say that I think it's bad. It's like those clickbait ads. 7 tricks they don't want you to know. Doctors hate them. 1 weird trick. You won't believe, etc. It's a scummy tactic. But I get that you're a business and whatever helps the bottom line is the right choice, etc., etc. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people enjoy it, or at least are unbothered by it. Great content and information as usual.
My response.
You must be super fun to hang out with.
What do you think about that, Adam?
Well, I'm not sure how it's a
the
scummy...
crush thing was your idea.
I'm not sure how it's a scummy tactic because it's not even in like the thing you click.
Exactly. It's
like
not
you're already
clickbait.
watching the video.
It's not clickbait.
I like how he's pretty much like, screw you. Oh, by the way, good job. I enjoyed watching it.
Backpedal harder. Throw the anchor out.
No, it wasn't even backpedal. It was just like, it was like, F you.
Larry Griffin says the legal brief is the best part of TGC. I would like to think that illegal Kinder toys are the best part of TGC.
You know what's funny? A couple of people said that they're like, don't tell John, but I actually watched TGC for the legal brief.
That's okay.
No, I know. I know you're not upset about it.
I like the fact that there are people that prefer to watch your show. I like the fact that we have totally different audiences within our main audience. There's some people that like both. What are you laughing at? You're
Somebody
laughing.
in the comments says, tell Jabba the neckbeard to go back to his basement.
Jabba the neckbeard is
good.
the actually guy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to have to remember that for slinging on the internet later.
That's just brutal. I love it.
Touche.
Cody
What's
Mays.
funny, Mr. John Paxton? You have a Patreon page.
This was left as a comment.
Okay, I guess context here is important.
Yeah, context is going to matter. So this was left as a comment on the video I did about the 2A scammer. Have you seen it?
Yes, I did see that because I remember seeing the messages on TGC, and I sent you a message and I said, is this guy serious?
Yeah.
And you were like, don't say anything. I'm going to do a video. I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to say anything, but is this guy actually serious? So if you haven't seen the video, the real quick rundown, and you can go take a look at the video, this guy sent a link to the TGC Facebook page asking us to promote a GoFundMe page. Now, first of all, anybody asking for help with GoFundMe is automatically suspect. Also, if you're using GoFundMe, you probably aren't getting all the money you thought you were because they take out a lot of fees. Anyway, he was using his GoFundMe page to raise funds.
$250,000.
$250,000 to raise funds for the protection of the Second Amendment for smaller shops facing legal challenges. That's what he described it as. Yeah. If you read the description and then the messages he sent were even better. It was because his business partners that he apparently investors had lined up didn't want to invest in his company or doubled, I guess, whatever the interest, something like that. He started a GoFundMe page because opening more gun shops protects the Second Amendment. So in essence, he was trying to get people to fund his business venture without having an interest in his company.
Under the guise of helping small gun shops besides himself. I think the words used were like, help somebody you may know live their dream or create their dream or something.
Here's an idea, dude. Banks give out loans. Go to a bank. Good luck.
Yeah, it was completely absurd. Go watch the video. I got very angry.
Yeah.
So somebody left a comment, a dumb comment on a YouTube video.
Say it ain't so. It's like that Weezer song. Touche. What's funny, Mr. John Paxton? You have a Patreon page.
I do.
That aligns with I'm starting a YouTube channel. Give me guns. Give me free stuff. Facepalm. You may actually be helping with the cause, but you're doing it at the expense of people. Why, if it's that so important to you on a personal level, you and YouTubers alike are fighting for the cause, have to have other people pay for it. It's like the government taxing people because it's good for them. That's literally the dumbest thing I've read all day.
So he compared Patreon to a tax.
Again, I don't know many taxes.
It's a voluntary thing.
Yeah.
Completely voluntary. The content remains free either way.
Right, whether you join or not.
Yeah, you are totally not obligated to join, but it's a tax.
That's the dumbest thing I've read all day.
And honestly, I think it's funny because he compared it as well to begging for guns to start a YouTube channel, because that was a reference I made, that people that are going to start a YouTube channel send out these emails to these companies, hey, can I have free guns because I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel.
Right.
And that is completely absurd to me. Meanwhile, we've got a decently successful YouTube channel. No need to ask for guns from Patreon supporters, but somehow that got thrown in there. I thought that was hilarious.
I think we're actually giving guns to Patreon supporters.
Yes, in fact, it's going the opposite direction.
But feel free to send us guns. We'll get you an FFL. The last one here is from an individual that was a comment left on Facebook in relation to, I'm guessing, either the episode on 4473s or the episode that we did following up about marijuana and guns.
I don't remember the context on this one. I apologize.
Well, it was from one of those two episodes based on the comment.
Yeah.
Why can't you understand that a person is allowed under the Fifth Amendment not to incriminate themselves on the 4473 where marijuana is brought up? That the right is protected also under the Second and the 10th Amendment. You mislead the people in the videos you made on this subject. This inability to understand because he misspelled the
TGE.
fundamental. That's not even spelled right either. Fundamentals of the law are why I could not support Adam for leadership within TER NRA, i.e., the negotiate rights away. Well, until you can spell remotely close. I don't care, man. You when you sign that form, you're affirming that your answers are true and correct under penalty of law.
People also pretend like the Constitution is the only law we ever have. People pretend like, you know what? This is unconstitutional. That's going to magically solve their problems.
It's not. You take
it is
that
far
to a
more
court,
complex
and a court
than that,
will laugh
and that's
you out.
why the freaking legal brief exists, to explain the things. But this guy is telling Adam that he is.
That's okay.
What was it?
Wrong.
You have the inability to understand TIGA fundamentalists of the law.
But I can spell. There, Joe Lovell in the comments said Recoil just had a huge spread on potting guns. I know. I wrote the intro to it. So that's a new segment. Comments on commentary.
Comment commentary.
We're
stealing that.
We're stealing that. I like it. Comment commentary. I think that's something we're going to start doing. So if you happen to see dumb comments while you're perusing videos of ours,
send
be sure to send us screenshots, either on Facebook or theguncollective@gmail.com.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we would appreciate that.
We seriously appreciate all you guys out there watching, especially the crew that comes and watches every week, the people that download regularly. It's fantastic. It's fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, I like it. And, that's going to bring us to the end of this week's show. Yeah, it is.
I don't want it to be the end.
Well, it's the end, so...
I'm stealing your lion.
Okay. Well, thanks again.
Where's the head?
So I don't know. It looks like you read the instructions while I try and go through this. So thanks again to Matt for the mugs. They are awesome. We do appreciate it. Ryan for the chocolate shipped from overseas. That's awesome. Thanks, dude. We appreciate that as well. We're going to eat some of that, I think, here on Instagram when we're done. To all of you, our sponsors, Birchwood Casey, birchwoodcasey.com. Check out their cool things like their target pasters. They have steel targets now that you mentioned earlier. As you know, the gunsmithing products like Cold Blue or Warm Blue, I don't remember. And our TGC Patreon supporters, patreon.com/theguncollective, the $1 army or the $5 forces. Thank you guys so much. Don't worry, nobody's holding a gun to your head to make you do that. That's going to be it for this week. You can check out the Gun Collective everywhere you can, and we got a super chat we'll read here in a second. Everywhere you can find the Gun Collective on social media, at the Gun Collective on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Full30, Twitter. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at the Adam Kraut. You can also check out my Facebook page face page at the Adam Kraut.
I put your lion's face on.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it was a sticker. Neat.
A sticker.
Okay.
It's also a stamp.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. You're really screwing up this exit. Like, I don't remember where I was going with any of this stuff. If you have email, comments, questions, concerns, comments you want us to check out for next week's episode, theguncollective@gmail.com. You can also drop us a message on Facebook. The last super chat here we got is I watched TGC for the legal brief because it's unique. Yep. If you want to expand, have you considered copying things that others have done? Slow-mo shooting, Tannerite torture tests, just an idea. Well, we do have a badass high-speed camera. We have done some slow-mo. There are plans to do more. Yeah. The Tannerite and torture test, probably not something up our alley, but we got some other ideas that we are working on. That's going to do it for this week. Make sure you send your hate mail to us. We love reading it, and maybe you'll be featured on next week's episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye.